Welcome to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., home of the D.C. Dragons for this Week 4 matchup, as the Dragons will play host to the Mexico City Aztecs. Dragons coming in undefeated at 3-0, and the Mexico City Aztecs at 2-1. Simulation Football League action presented by APM Music live on the league's Twitch channel as we get a look inside the Dungeon of Dracaris Coliseum here in our nation's capital. Alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden in the stats truck, my name is Eric Vincent. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the Simulation Football League. And Nate, I touched on it right there. DC undefeated, Mexico City at 2-1. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
It certainly is. Both of these squads are premier teams in each of their respective divisions. Mexico City coming off a win last week over London, a little bit of a shootout game, but Matt Wilson was over 87% completion rate. Only had 4 total incompletions that game. He had 3 for 4 touchdowns, no picks. So he's going to be looking to continue where he left off last week. That man you see right there, Kevin Say. What a game he had last week. 290 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, over 12 yards per carry. He is looking to continue where he left off this week as well in their win over Lone Star again.
There was talk that he was going to break the record for the single game rushing yards after the first half that he had last week against Lone Star, but not to be for him, as Your Glory were able to slow him down in the second half. Kickoff is coming up in just a second. Aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dags Drone Works or visit their website, dagsdroneworks.com. DC will get the football to start things off here. Fielded inside his own end zone. That's going to be Kanye Rockefeller handling the duties, and he will bring it out close to the 20-yard line. We'll mark him down at the 19, and that's where Sabaz Synergy will take over for this offense for DC. What do you expect here for the Dragons on offense, Nate?
Honestly, I think they're going to try to get Mexico City, catch him off guard a little bit. He might start with a little swing pass out to Kevin Say, looking like they're in a big formation, though, so maybe they're going to try to run here.
And it is going to be a Kevin Say run to start things off. He is a dangerous runner, and he gets a gain of 4 to start things off for the Dragons. We'll get a look at the Dragons on offense. Shabazz Synergy, number 7, the quarterback. Kevin Say at running back, we just saw him. Chris Britton, the fullback. Gus Scott, Mike Churchill, Jeff Banfield, and Josh Gill are the wide receivers. Lauren Percoco, the former Fort Worth Toro, coming over to the nation's capital at tight end, along with Kyle Storm, the rookie 4th-round pick. Empty set for Synergy. He'll throw it short, close to the line to gain, and the tackle will actually be beyond the line to gain there, as that's Gus Scott with his first catch and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, great first down on their second play from scrimmage, finding Gus Scott over the middle. But the thing about Shabazz Synergy, we talked about Say having a big game last week, but Synergy threw for over 290 yards himself and 3 touchdowns. So they can mix it up a little bit and run pass.
Synergy is a bit of a gunslinger as he throws it over the middle into coverage, and that falls incomplete. That was good coverage out there by the Mexico City secondary. Ben Charbs included. We'll get a look at their stars on defense. Angela Meerkat, Skylar Kinsley, and Dan Tritz all on the defensive front 3. Dexter Jackson, Ronnie Watson, Matt Anderson, the linebackers. Gerard Brody, Jermaine Menfield, the corners. Derek Meerkat, Jeffrey Daggs, Ben Charbs, we just saw there, and Liam Ryan are the safeties for the Aztecs on defense. Second down, Synergy under center. Going to quick fire it over the middle. That's good for first down yardage. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's Lauren Percoco.
And boy, what a pickup for DC Percoco was, grabbing her from Fort Worth. They've been able to target her for a few catches per game, and she's been a huge weapon for them on offense.
DC firing on all cylinders to start things off here. Coming out in I formation, that's Kevin Say with the ball. Good spin move there, and he's off to the races. No one's going to catch him. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown for Kevin Say. Good grief.
Man, what a run. Just picking up where he left off last week on his way to the end zone. We saw Boy, I'm familiar with his spin moves because I saw it firsthand last week. But he just, whoop, right there. Spin move off to the left, and after that spin move, he was off to the races. No one from Mexico City could catch up to him all the way to the end zone for 6 points. Early lead for this squad.
I was getting deja vu from Denton last week calling this ball game and seeing him run that football. I think it was a good 60, 70 yards that he broke out that spin move, and his own offensive line didn't know where he went.
Yeah, he's just confused everybody on both teams with where he was on the field. But as long as you have that speed that he has, all you gotta do is turn on the afterburners and just run to the end zone.
So a quick 7-0 score here in favor of the hometown Dragons. 5 plays, 81 yards, 59-yard rushing touchdown for Kevin Say as DC strikes first.
Early strike. Now it's going to be up to Matt Wilson and company to respond with a good drive of their own.
Pati boots it down the field. Mexico City will field it inside their own 5 and bring it out to the 28-yard line. And that was Nick Lockett on the return, and we'll see the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson come out, number 12. His 13th season with this franchise, either with Santa Fe or in Mexico City as you see them now. And, man, he puts up big-time numbers, even though he's been in the league a long time, Nate.
Yeah, he is really one of those elite quarterbacks that you love to have on your squad. Like I mentioned last week's game against London, only 4 total completions, so a great game he had.
Throws that one into coverage. A couple of different receivers in the area, Dags and McCall, but neither of them come up with the football. It falls incomplete, second down. Get a look at the stars on Mexico City's offense. Matt Wilson, we mentioned him at quarterback. Phoenix Jones, the running back. Ray Bentley, another Hall of Famer, at fullback. Jason Bartley, Nick Lockett, Jacob McCall. There's also T.T. Crystal and Orain Darby at wide receivers. 5 wide receivers for the Aztecs here. Bill Henry and Mike Dags at tight ends. Bunch of receivers towards the bottom of the formation for Wilson. 5-step drop, going to throw it opposite that way. Far sideline, caught. First down yardage out to the Mexico City 41-yard line, courtesy of Jason Bartley.
Yeah, Bartley with a first down grab here, but one thing that caught my eye, even though Matt Wilson had a good game last week with over 300 yards passing through the air, no receiver had over 52 yards receiving. The highest receiver they had was McCall at 52 yards total receiving. So it shows you how much that Wilson likes to spread the ball around for this offense.
Phoenix Jones gets his first carry of the ball game, but he stopped right at the line of scrimmage by number 52, Riley Cuse, and we'll get a look at the rest of the stars for the DC Dragons. Saeed Gore, John Gary, Isaac Forster, and Benny Butcher all on the front 4. Declan O'Rourke, Cuse, Aaron Gooden, all the linebackers. John DeSantis, Ty Woodson, Peanut Say, and Darrell Bullock, the corners. Kanye Rockefeller in his 13th season, and Kappa Jones, the safeties. As Wilson will throw here on second down, checks it down behind the line of scrimmage, and again, Gooden is in there, that's Cuse in there on the stop, and that brings up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that's Cuse with 2 good stops in a row, on 2 plays in a row. So he's looking to get his stats going early in this ball game and leaving Mexico City right here with the 3rd and long on this play.
Trips towards the bottom of the formation. As Wilson will throw it over the middle and incomplete. He airmailed it just a little bit looking for Nick Lockett, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Mexico City will have to punt.
Yeah, definitely not the start that Mexico City was looking for on offense, but DC came out with that dime formation, expecting pass all the way on 3rd and long, able to get those defenders in the secondary out there to cover all those receivers, and that's why Wilson was able to find nobody on the receiving end of that catch, 4th down.
George Amy is handling the punting duties here for Mexico City. And fielded by Kanye just outside the 20-yard line, and he'll bring it out to the DC 24-yard line for the Dragons' next possession here. And you touched on it, Mexico City was very efficient in their win last week, but their first possession definitely left a lot to be desired. DC just marched down the football field.
Yeah, absolutely. Mexico City's going to be looking to spread the ball out more than they did on that first drive next time to get the ball back, but they've got to find a way to stop Kevin Shea right here on this next drive by DC.
As Say gets the carry there, and he goes nowhere. He's going to get stopped right around the line of scrimmage, and already with an impressive average per carry.
Well, when you have a long run like he did for that touchdown, that's going to skew your average numbers a little bit until you get a few more carries under your belt. But Benny Butcher right there with a good stop for no gain.
Second down from the 24, inside of 7 to go here in the opening frame. Handoff goes to Say again. Stutter step, but he gets buried right at the line of scrimmage. Great stop there by the linebacker, Ronnie Watson, his 3rd season with Mexico City.
Yeah, we saw a spin move on that first long run, so this time Kevin Say thought he would try to stutter step to fool the defender, but no such luck. As you said, number 42, Ronnie Watson, was not pulled by that one, able to stop him for another no-gain play.
Synergy to throw on 3rd and long. Slant, but incomplete. Good coverage was out there by the secondary. Brody was in coverage, and that's going to fall incomplete. DC will have to punt now.
Yeah, so great job by this Mexico City defense to able to get a stop here on this second drive by DC. Able to find a way to stop Kevin Say. That's the one thing they were looking for after that big long run by Say in the first drive. They were able to corral him for no big gains on that drive. So we'll see what Mexico City can do on their next offensive drive.
And pressure's coming, but gets it away. Don Wilson, the punter for DC. Fair catch called for and made at the Mexico City 42-yard line. So good starting field position here for the Aztecs as they take over with 6:17 to go here in the first quarter.
And like we said there, after their first possession, Mexico City just couldn't get anything going either through the air or on the ground very much. We'll have to see if they try to open it up a little bit more through the passing game to see if Matt Wilson can find some open receivers downfield.
Only 2 completions so far for Wilson. That's his 3rd as he finds Phoenix Jones coming out of the backfield for a minimal gain. Actually, his forward momentum will propel him forward for 5 yards. So decent first down play. 2nd and 5 coming up.
And a very good play to get Jones involved out in the passing game as well. Last week, Jones had a receiving touchdown through the air, so they do like to utilize him out there in the flats, get a few catches a game out there to make him more versatile on offense.
5 in the box for DC on defense as Wilson's going to air it out over the middle. Caught. First down yardage and more. Inside the 15 and down at the DC 12-yard line. Into the SFL red zone we go. Courtesy of Nick Lockett. And DeSantis is down on his back on the turf. That's going to be a huge loss for the DC defense.
Yeah, we just hope DeSantis is just a little shaken up. It'll be okay, but Matt Wilson, what a pass by him. Not to take away from that great offensive play for sure. Just able to find Nick Lockett out there over the middle. Just unfortunate that DeSantis went down with an injury. We'll have to keep an eye on his status as we go on.
Looks like he might have gotten leg whipped by Kappa Jones as they were both going for the tackle there. We'll have to keep you apprised as to what's going on the DC sideline. Wilson and company sets up with a 1st and 10 from the 12. Wilson to throw, crossing route, finds his man, and that's inside the 5. Actually, they'll mark him down right at the 5, as that was McCall with the catch.
Yeah, McCall with the catch. All of their top receivers, except for TT Crystal and Oren Darby, now have a catch. 3 of the 5 have a catch now for this game, able to spread the ball around. That's what they were looking for on this drive, and Matt Wilson doing a good job of it so far.
Offset eye, hand off to the fullback Bentley, and DC is able to stop him at the line for no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. Benny Butcher with a clutch tackle.
DC defense, they were doing their homework over the last week. They've seen in previous games where Mexico City likes to run the fullback right up the middle on short yardage or goal line plays, able to stop him there for only a short gain.
Phoenix Jones, now his turn, and DC stops him behind the line. That's going to bring up a 4th down, and Mexico City will more than likely kick a field goal as Aaron Gooden gets in for the stop there.
And that's going to be a big win for this DC Dragon defense, only holding this high-powered Aztec offense to only a field goal attempt after allowing that big play down the middle of the field to hold them for a field goal attempt. That's a big win by this team.
Gotta agree. Cole Varner coming out in his 9th season. 3-time All-Star in this league as well, as he's able to boot the field goal up and through from 23 yards. So that gets Mexico City on the board, 7-3 now your score, as DC will take possession following the kickoff. Been back and forth so far, but DC's defense, I think, has been a little bit better, minus that one play from Kevin Say, which obviously he has the tendency to do.
Yeah, it's still early. We had that one big run, like you said, by Say. Both defenses playing good outside of that long run by Say, so we'll have to see what both teams' kind of adjustments that they make as this game progresses.
Kanye had a kickoff return for a touchdown a week ago, and he's going to bring it out to the DC 23 with 4 minutes on the clock exactly. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. I formation as Synergy will throw to start things off. Has a receiver out towards the far sideline, and that's close to first down yardage for Percoco as she gets 8.
Yeah, Percoco with her first catch early in this ball game, able to come away off that right side on the out route with a good 8-yard gain on first down. Nice catch to get them in second and short range here.
Two backs offset for Synergy. Short drop, quick fires it over the middle, wide open man, and that's going to be first down yardage out to midfield. Looks like that was Jeff Banfield on the catch there.
Between Dexter Jackson and Ben Charles, neither one of them could get there in time to cover Josh Gill over there on the right side, so he ended up wide open to make a big first down catch to move those sticks, and now they're moving down the field quickly.
Heavy backfield for the Dragons now on this first down. Synergy again is going to throw it. Swing pass to Kevin Say. Good couple spin moves there, but gets stood up after a gain of 4 as Mexico City rebounds nicely.
Tried to spin move right there out in the flats. You know, we saw what the spin move did for him the first drive of the game. This time, though, only gets a gain of 4 yards. Mexico City was able to stay home and make the good tackle there to make it second and medium.
Another handoff to Kevin Say. Slips the first defender, but his buddy was able to knock him down right around the line of scrimmage as Menefield comes up and makes a stop.
Yeah, he, like you said, Say was able to break out that first tackle, but Menefield was able to lay the wood there on him, make sure he got no further than where he did. Only a gain of 1 and make it third and medium. This D would be served well to make a big stop here on third down.
3rd and 5, Synergy finds first down yardage again, and a big hit on the catch, as that was Mike Churchill with first down yardage to the Mexico City 40.
Churchill over the middle was wide open, and Ronnie Watson did what he was taught to do. If you can't get there to break the pass up, try to hit the ball or hit the receiver as hard as you can to make the ball pop out. He did hit him hard, but not hard enough to make the ball pop out. First down, great catch.
Hand off to Say, blockers in front, and he can't quite get to the second level there, as he's only able to get maybe 1.5 yards as Jackson makes a stop.
We're going to see these kind of moves all day where he shimmy shakes, starts, stops, spin moves by Kevin Say. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time he gets 1 yard, but he is one of those elusive backs that can make big plays very, very often.
Synergy with patience in the pocket, finds a wide open receiver into the end zone. Touchdown, DC.
We talked about it. Kevin Say had a big day last week. This time, though, it was through the air. Number 81 on the receiving end of that one. Jeff Banfield with a huge reception over the middle. Shabazz Synergy able to find his wide open receiver and into the end zone for 6 more points. DC, early 2-possession lead. Watch out.
And it looked like even his tight end, Percoco, was open on that play as well. He could have picked and choose who he wanted to throw it to there with under a minute to go in the first. But DC looking to go up by 11 with the extra point. And Pati is able to knock it through, making it 14-3 in favor of the hometown Dragons. And, man, both scoring possessions that DC has had, they've both been very impressive. Marching right down the football field, both with big plays, one through the air, one on the ground.
Yeah, big plays is what this DC Dragon will do, team offense will do to you. Leaves your defensive coach scratching his head, trying to figure out what you need to do to stop this offense because they're so high powered. They can strike almost at any time and in any way that they see that they need to.
Big time hit on the kickoff there as he suplexed him into the dirt. Big old hit by number 90, Rowan Porter. Knocks him down at the 22-yard line. And Mexico City's got to get some things going here as the big play is biting them in the butt on defense, it seems.
Yeah, Mexico City might be served well to look away from Nick Lockett's way after that big hit on that return. Might be shaking the cobwebs a little bit after that one.
DC stacking the box, anticipating a run. Wilson instead is going to throw, and that's going to be incomplete. Let him a little bit too far out of bounds. As it looks like John DeSantis, the corner for DC, is going to be out for the rest of the game, a dislocated elbow. So we'll see how DC can respond on defense here with this possession.
Yeah, it's going to be a big loss for this DC defense, losing DeSantis like that for the rest of this game. We'll have to see how DC responds and how Mexico City in turn will attack that going forward.
Play action for Wilson. Over the middle and incomplete. The DC linebacker had a chance to rope it in as that was Gooden. It was Riley Cuse out there on coverage, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Matt Wilson just didn't see him over the middle. Maybe had his eyes on his receiver, Mike Daggs, a little bit too long. But at any rate, Hughes with a big deflection there almost had 6 points going the other way.
Second down incompletion forces Mexico City to go 5 wide and across the middle. That's a catch, but it's going to be short of first down yardage as that was Crystal with his first catch, out to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 3.
Yeah, TT Crystal coming away with a big catch for a good, 6 or 7 yard gain. But now what Mexico City was looking for, being down 2 scores early in this ball game, now they have a 3 and out and it's punting it away right back to this DC offense.
Rockefeller, good sidestep there, and he's able to get past the 40 to the 43-yard line. We'll probably see one more play before we hit the end of the quarter. And it's been all DC so far as they've gotten 2 touchdowns on 2 big plays.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. 2 big plays, one on the ground by Say, one through the air. Synergy, is kind of, in the last week and quarter's worth, it's been a little overshadowed by the big play of Kevin Say, but he's a good quarterback in his own right. Last week he had 3 touchdowns to go along with his 290 yards.
Handoff there for Say goes nowhere, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. 14-3 your score as the Dragons are in full control. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on Twitch. Second and 10 now for the Dragons as we flip sides of the field. DC coming out with the white helmets, teal tops, white bottoms. Mexico City with their white jerseys and green pants here today. As Synergy will throw to Kevin Say coming out of the backfield. His momentum couldn't quite keep him in bounds, and he's going to lose half a yard on the play.
Yeah, his momentum just carried him too far towards the sidelines on that reception, and because of that momentum, he found himself out of bounds before he could turn upfield. So it's going to be a big 3rd and long play coming up for you know, both DC's offense and Mexico City's defense try to get a stop here to get the ball back.
Mexico City is itching for a stop here on defense to get the football back. As Synergy is going to throw it over the middle. That's first down yardage. Out across to the Mexico City 46-yard line. Churchill with another clutch catch.
Yeah, clutch indeed. Mike Churchill over the middle, able to grab that one from his general of a quarterback, Synergy. Synergy's just leading his offense almost at will this first half of the game so far, just commanding his troops and moving on the field almost at will.
Synergy from the gun this time. He's got Sadkar right. Synergy to throw. Over the middle, incomplete. Good defense out there by one of the linebackers, Matt Anderson, number 55, tips the football away.
Yeah, Matt Anderson come away with a big pass deflection right there. Looked like it might have been able to, had he not been there, it might have been another big catch over the right hand side. But 2nd and 10, good defensive play by him.
Now an offside eye for DC. Drawn side of the formation is near sideline. That's where Kevin Say is going to run, trying to bounce it into the middle of the field, and we'll get maybe a half a yard as Mexico City was ready for the typical spin move. He elects to throw down.
Yeah, looking for a spin move to try to get out of the grasp. But backup defensive tackle Juan Perez, it'll come up with a tackle there for only a 1-yard gain, set up a 3rd and long here.
Already a third and long converted for DC on this drive. This one not to be, as that was good one-on-one defense by Gerard Brody, able to knock the football down in coverage on Jeff Banfield.
What a play by Gerard Brody, able to stay with the receiver there, Banfield over on that left side, able to get a hand up there to tip that ball away and set up a 4th down to make DC punt this one back to the Mexico City side to set them up on offense again.
Wilson with another punt. No return for Mexico City, and the DC special teams is going to down it right at the 5-yard line. So a long way to go here for the Aztecs to get their first touchdown on the board with 9:28 to go here in the first half.
Mexico City's been struggling to move the ball already in this ball game. Only come away with 3 points through a quarter and a couple minutes of the second. It's going to be even more difficult now with them right at the 5-yard line. You're going to have 95 yards to go just to get a touchdown.
Wilson's going to hand it off to Jones, and DC was ready for it there on first down. Going to be no gain. Brings up 2nd down and long. Do you have a hot take? Want to show your appreciation for the SFL or show more love to your teammates? The league's new show, SFL Crunch Time, wants to hear from you. Post a video on Twitter with your take or shout out and use the hashtag SFL Crunch Time, and you may just appear on the show this week. Want more details? DM Josh Circle on Discord, and we'll see you in Crunch Time. And there's a crunching hit right there from Phoenix Jones. A couple different hits, and he's able to push himself forward for first down yardage to the 16. What a play.
What a play indeed. Phoenix Jones just showing this DC defense what he can do when he has a ball in hand. He said, I might not spin like your guys' halfback can. I might not do a little juke move, but I can truck over your defenders. I'll lay a person out just to get the yards I need for a first down. Great run by him to get that first down on the play.
We'll see if that momentum carries over here on the rest of this drive for Mexico City. Fresh set of downs from the 16. Wilson takes the snap, throws it far sideline, caught, close to a first down. It's going to be a gain of 7 yards, courtesy of Jacob McCall.
Watch, see if this kind of momentum continues. We talked about it with that Phoenix Jones run a couple plays ago. This time McCall getting a nice 7-yard gain on first down. If you can chip away at this DC defense and methodically move down the field, you might have a chance.
Jones with another impressive run as he'll get first down yardage to the Mexico City 29-yard line as the Aztecs continue to build an impressive drive here after starting off at their 5-yard line.
Yeah, you only need 3 yards for the first down there, did Phoenix Jones, but he got 6. Going to move those sticks right there, making it first down. Just a few yards at a time is what we need to do right here if you're Mexico City.
Wilson under center. Wilson offset. Wilson's going to sling it that way. Jones with the carry coming out of the backfield, and a great job by him catching the pass coming out of the backfield from Wilson and able to get first down yardage right away.
This time, Phoenix Jones proving that he can help his quarterback out in the receiving game. He had a catch like that for about 5 yards on one of the first couple of drives of this game. This time, though, it's for a good 15 yards or so before he gets pushed out of bounds by DC's defense. So good pass play out of the backfield for Matt Wilson and company.
Two backs in the backfield now for Wilson. Another screen pass, this time to Ray Bentley, the fullback, and he'll get maybe a couple out to the 46-yard line as we creep towards 7 minutes to go here in the first half.
This time getting their fullback involved, Ray Bentley, just unable to get his motor going, moving upfield very far before he got tackled, only 2 yards on that play.
Second and 8 now. 4 down linemen for DC on defense. 3 wide outs on the formation for Mexico City. Wilson fires it far sideline. What a laser for first down yardage to Jacob McCall as he found a little bit of a hole in the defense and is able to move the chains.
When Matt Wilson has a receiver that wide open, he's going to find him every single time. He's just that kind of quarterback. This time he finds Jacob McCall over on the right-hand side. Another first down yardage play, another nice set of downs coming up here for Mexico City. Now they're in DC territory. They can strike now and try to get some points.
Heavy formation. Wilson instead is going to throw. Nice one-handed grab by Phoenix Jones and a stiff arm as he gets about maybe 9.5 on the play. Mark him out at the DC 30.
It looked like Darrell Bullock was the receiver of that little stiff arm by Phoenix Jones, and maybe took a little bit of offense to that as Jones was going towards the sidelines. I'll have to see if that amounts to anything later in this ball game. But nice job by Phoenix Jones to get another 10-yard gain on first down.
High formation. Jones gets the carry this time, and he'll get just enough for the first down to move the chains. DC ready for it, but when you only need maybe a chest hair, it's really not a whole lot you can do on defense.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought they had the first down there on that previous reception, but I guess they marked him just short to make it second and inches. But Phoenix Jones able to do the rest. 1 yard gain, first down inside the 30.
Wilson in the gun for a fresh set of downs. Far sideline, and that's caught again by McCall. That's going to be a gain of 5 with a little toe drag swag along the far sideline.
Yeah, able to keep his toes inside the green grass and not on the white as far as I could see. A nice out route by McCall over there to get a nice 5-yard gain, setting up a nice second down and yardage play. Now well inside Cole Varner's field goal range, but you got to think right here, Mexico City's going to be looking for 6.
DC stacking the box here. They'll get that run they're looking for, and Phoenix Jones gets to about the 20-yard line. They will mark him at the 20 for a 3rd and 2 coming up.
But if they get another, they've been getting chunk plays at a time on this drive. Matt Wilson's been able to move the ball as well as Phoenix Jones down the field. Looks like they might try to go with 4 wide here on a pass play, but should be able to get it here if they can get a good playoff.
Wilson over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for his best friend Mike Daggs, but in coverage once again was Riley Cuse. He's having an impressive game so far for DC, and that brings up 4th down. We'll probably see another Cole Varner field goal.
Yeah, I would imagine we'll see Cole Varner come out too early to go for it on 4th down. But what a play. That's twice in the first half now that Riley Cuse has made, defending a pass away from Mike Daggs, but they're in a formation to go for it. Let's see if they actually snap it here.
Under 10 to go on the play clock. DC's showing discipline, and Mexico City will have to burn a timeout there with 4:39 to go. I'm not mad at that play selection there, especially this close to the first half. You can't take those timeouts going into halftime into the next half, so might as well burn them now.
Yeah, it's not a bad call. Try to catch DC off guard and maybe catch him unpoised there on that defensive line, make him jump. Uh, but DC stayed disciplined along that defensive front. Uh, so now we'll see Cole Varner come out and attempt his field goal.
And this will make it a one-possession ball game. From about 37 yards for Varner. Bit of a low snap, but gets it down, and it's up and through from 37 yards. 14-6 now, your score, as Mexico City draws within one score.
And I will draw your attention to last week with what DC did when the game was within 8 points. We saw a kick return for a touchdown by Rockefeller. So let's see if voodoo magic can happen twice in 2 weeks, or if Mexico City can make the stop.
Very astute, my friend. Eric Vincent alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden are in the stat truck for us this afternoon for this rematch of the Season 5 championship between the Santa Fe Gorillas, now the Mexico City Aztecs, and the DC Dragons. DC came out on top with that one, and Kanye is able to make it out to the 24-yard line, so no kick return for a touchdown, but the DC offense has been humming this afternoon. A couple big chunk plays resulted in the 2 scores that you see on the scoreboard for them.
Yeah, but outside of those 2 big plays, Mexico City has been, making a couple of plays of their own in a passing defense game. So we'll see if which side can come up with the big play on this drive.
Synergy, far sideline, catch made for a gain of 6. And that was a good tackle along the far sideline on Jeff Banfield as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, but again, each side is doing it chunk plays at a time. You get 6 yards. Each play you run on offense is going to usually set up first downs as you go down the field. So let's see what they do here on 2nd and 4.
Certainly keeps them ahead of schedule as Synergy lines up in an offset eye. He's going to throw again. Got Kevin Say coming out of the backfield. Good spin move there. Elusive first defender. Turns on the afterburners. And he's out to the Mexico City 47-yard line with inside 4 to go. What a play by Kevin Say.
And Mexico City is very, very lucky that Matt Anderson was right there to tackle him right there. But you see right there on the replay, whoop, another spin move right there out on the right-hand side. Once he got that out there in the flats, he just made that first defender look silly with that spin move on his way to a big gain, setting up a first down on the other side of the 50.
What makes him different from a lot of running backs in the league is that he's able to time his spin move so well as Synergy finds a man over the middle, and that's caught for a good chunk of 9 yards, again keeping him ahead of the sticks as that's Kyle Storm with his first catch.
Trust me, I know all too well about that spin move. I've been on oxygen for the last week, trying to catch my breath from stopping him on defense. But yeah, good play there on first down, setting up a 2nd and 1. Nice 9-yard reception there. Good pass by Synergy.
Handoff to Say, but buried in the backfield. And again, that was Anderson that had his number, and that's going to be a loss of 2. 3rd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, no big play for Say that time. Anderson was able to find his way into the offensive backfield. Nice tackle for loss, 2-yard loss, set up a big 3rd down for this Mexico City defense.
Speaking of oxygen, chilly afternoon here in D.C., 32 degrees, nice and clear. But, man, it's a little bit cooler than what they see down south of the border for the Aztecs as Kevin Say is able to get first down yardage to the 36-yard line as we creep closer to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, we talked about that pregame, Eric, where the weather conditions might favor DC a little bit in this setting. We saw what happened in Mexico City when they traveled to Queen City. What happened there when they entered into that, almost blizzard-like conditions in the snow. They ended up losing that game by 10 points. We thought this cold weather might throw them off a little bit. And there he goes again.
There he goes again. Kevin Say into the end zone once again. Touchdown, DC.
Wow. I didn't even get a chance to finish my thought before I'm watching Kevin Say do another spin move right into the end zone on the left side this time. 6 more points on the board. Kevin Say 2 touchdowns early in the first half in this ball game. Whoop! Right there, right around number 44. Jeffrey Daggs was the victim that time of that spin move. And this time, Kevin Say finds the end zone once again.
came into this game with over 500 yards through 3 weeks on the ground, the #1 rusher in the league. As we hit the 2-minute warning here in DC, Simulation Football League action presented by APM Music. Potty lining up to make this a 21-6 game here at home for the Dragons. Bit of a wonky snap, but they'll get it through, as that does make it 21-6. And I mentioned Kevin Say came into this over 500 yards, close to 550 on the ground. He's got about 50 on the ground here today and 2 touchdowns now, as he's been absolutely electric for this DC offense.
It should be over 50 now, because that first run was about 59 with a couple of shorter runs, short lost runs mixed in there with it. But we'll have to see once that stat line gets updated. But what a big game Kevin Say is having so far in this one. Just able to run all over this defense. A couple of big plays by him so far in this first half.
Basic math tells me he's probably closer to about 100 here, 86 or so, if math serves me right.
Yeah, just another big game he's having, carrying where he left off from last week. Just big gain after big gain, it seemed like. Two big ones so far.
Mexico City trying to answer the bell here as Matt Wilson connects with Mike Daggs over the middle, and another injury for the DC defense, as that time it's Ty Woodson that's on his back, the rookie 4th-round pick. And we'll have to see what happens with him. They already lost John DeSantis to a dislocated elbow earlier in the ball game. He won't be back. So hopefully Woodson is going to be coming back here a little bit later. Otherwise, I mean, they're going to have to start throwing out corners from the bench.
We're going to have to see some backups coming in before too long if he's not able to come in. Woodson, though, coming into this game, had a sack in their last game. It's very rare that you see a cornerback have a sack in a game, but he did it last week in their win over Lone Star. So that might be a big loss if he's not able to come back in.
And that was Phoenix Jones lined up in the fullback spot, but he gets a carry for about 5 or 6 yards out to the 39-yard line as the clock continues to roll. Mexico City with 2 timeouts, DC with 3.
You got to think, though, once they get under a minute, if they continue to move the ball down, they got to go hurry up here or start using their timeouts to try to get a score here before halftime.
Wilson from the gun. Sidecar left is Jones. Quick fires it towards the top of the field there, and that's going to be Bill Henry with the catch. First down yardage as they go no huddle. Wilson, opposite end this time to Jones coming out of the backfield. Man, throws his shoulder down and throws the defender to the turf as he gets close to 10 yards on the play.
Another big stiff arm.
Wilson again will throw. Wide open man on the crossing route. First down yardage to Jason Bartley. Again going no huddle. 40 seconds and counting. 2 timeouts for Mexico City. Wilson, wide open man is Henry towards the top. And again going no huddle. You got to imagine they want to burn a timeout soon here.
Absolutely. If not after this play, they need to. Okay, so that'll stop the clock. So they only need to use timeout there, but you have timeouts. I would say use them earlier, but they do have a stoppage of the clock here. So we'll have to see what they do out of the next play out of the huddle.
And as you saw right there, Ty Woodson is going to be out for the rest of the game with back spasms. So that's 2 corners now, 2 star corners for the DC defense that are now out of action. We'll have to see how they respond against this Mexico City offense. Big lead, getting close to halftime here is Wilson. Going to air it out. Far sideline catch made. Second timeout made, as it's 16 seconds on the clock down at the DC 12-yard line.
Big play by Jacob McCall on that right-hand side. Big throw by Matt Wilson to get the ball over those defenders, just out of the outstretched arms of that corner over there on the right side, finding the hands of his receiver, getting the ball well inside the red zone now. And you got plenty of time here. If you're Mexico City, you still have 16 seconds.
Well within striking range. Still one timeout to work with as well, as Wilson is going to throw near sideline and out of bounds. That's going to be to Bartley as he gets a few on the play. Takes 4 seconds off the clock.
You got to think about the time where it's at now. Nice outplay, though, by Jason Bartley over there on the sidelines. But will they go for the field goal now, or will they run another play? Looks like they will opt for the field goal.
Can't necessarily say I blame them here. Although with one timeout, I'd at least maybe run one, maybe two more plays. But this is going to be Varner from about 27 yards. Good snap, good hold, and it is up and through officially from 26 yards with 9 seconds to go. And 9 points on the board for Mexico City as they make it a 12-point ball game.
Yeah, 12-point ball game, but come away with only 3 on that drive when you're expecting 6 after that big drive and be able to move the ball down the field like they were able to. Just if you look at this first half overall so far, it's just being able to score touchdowns on offense versus being able to only score field goals on your possessions. That's the difference in this ball game right now.
Kanye Rockefeller looked like he might have slipped that defender there, but he gets dragged down close to the 30-yard line. And with only 4 seconds to go, I anticipate DC is going to be content taking this double-digit lead into the half.
I would agree with that. Definitely just sit on this one and let the clock drain out.
Three wideouts towards the bottom of the formation. Synergy under center. Synergy is going to throw and into coverage, and that's incomplete. Freezes 1 second on the clock as that was Josh Gill. That was the intended receiver. Derek Meerkat in coverage.
Yeah, Derek Meerkat able to get a hand in there and knock that one away. Good play by him to make sure that Gill didn't come away with that one.
Bit puzzling going with the passing play with only a few seconds on the clock, but that's why I'm up here calling the games and not down there on the sideline.
Yeah, you and me both. Leave that to the experts.
Exactly. Heavy backfield as
There he goes.
Terry, and he's free again.
Look out!
Can he be stopped? He's not going to be stopped. I don't think he's got one more to beat.
He's
There he
gone.
goes. Touchdown, Kevin Say. Unbelievable. 1 second on the clock, just looking to bleed it on out, go into the locker room, and instead, Kevin Say busts out a huge play.
Huge play is an understatement. I mean, he just takes the handoff. There was no spin move this time. This time, he just turns on the afterburners on the left-hand side, and he said, I'm just going to let my speed do it. No one can catch him. 55 just dropped. 42 just dropped. On the way to the end zone for the touchdown. What is this guy on that he's able to do all this in 1 half? What a play.
Anderson had a chance. Watson had a chance. Everyone had a chance, it seemed, to stop him along that far sideline, but he could not be stopped. Kevin Say all the way to the end zone, and that's going to make it a 28-9 advantage for the DC Dragons at home. 76 yards all the way to the end zone for Kevin Say as he hits over 100 yards for the second consecutive week in just the first half.
Unreal.
Absolutely unbelievable sequence of events there as Mexico City will get the ball to start the second half. Probably the only bit of good news here for the Mexico City Aztecs as they're down by 19 following the first half.
Down 19 and needing points in a hurry on this first possession.
We'll see how they respond as Lockett gets bottled up right around the 25, marking down at the 26-yard line. And the stats really haven't been bad for the Aztecs on offense. Wilson is thrown for 167 yards. You know, he spread the football around nicely. Phoenix Jones averaging about 4 yards a clip. There's really nothing on offense that's pointing to the fact that they're down by 19.
No, but one glaring stat that points out to me on offense, Mike Daggs had 3 receiving touchdowns last week. He doesn't even have a catch this game.
And that's going to be 9 yards right away, and that's Jason Bartley with another catch. It seems like he's been focusing more on the receivers rather than Daggs or Henry, as really Henry only got a couple catches just because of the formation he was in to end the first half.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bill Henry has 2 receptions for 5 yards so far, but he has been targeting the receivers more. But I think that's because Hughes has done such a good job on defense through the first half that Daggs just hasn't been able to get a chance to.
And this DC defense has just been lights out, running around with their hair on fire as they make another big stop behind the line. And this time it was Isaac Forrester and company getting in for the stop.
Yeah, Isaac Forrester coming off the line and making a pit stop into the offensive backfield for a big tackle for loss on second down right there.
3rd and 5 now. Play action from Wilson. Near sideline, finds a man wide open, and that's going to be a catch for a first down as Bartley snags the football and moves the chains.
And look, we know that Matt Wilson is a veteran of this league. You know, he's 13 years in, all with Mexico City. Uh, he's going to command his troops. He's going to calm his team down. You know, they found themselves in big deficits in ball games before. They just need to, methodically move the ball down the field and make good plays and let the players do the rest.
Phoenix Jones surges ahead on first down for a gain of 7 on that play. Eric Vincent alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden in the stats truck for us as we are live in the nation's capital on the league's Twitch page. DC with a 28-9 advantage. They had a very impressive first half. If you're just joining us, Mexico City trying to find a way to claw their way back into this football game as Jones will surge ahead for a couple. Another injury for the DC defense. Riley Cuse this time on the ground. And that's another storyline that's been big. If you're just joining us, 2 corners are out already for DC. John DeSantis and Ty Woodson. And now Cuse is on the ground.
That looked like tackle KT Matthews might have blindside hit Riley Hughes from behind there. Surprised that wasn't called as a penalty. But nonetheless, Hughes was a big player there in the first half covering Mike Daggs. We'll have to see if that has an effect now on getting Daggs more catches throughout the second half.
And we'll keep you posted on Hughes' injury status as well as Jones is able to get an impressive carry out across midfield to the DC 47-yard line. And we get a look at the running back comparison there, and there is no comparison. It's been the Kevin Say show.
Absolutely no comparison whatsoever. Kevin Say with 3 big runs for 3 long touchdowns. You saw it right there on the stat sheet. 185 total yards on the ground, over 15 yards per carry. This is just an amazing game he's been having.
Wilson pump fakes over the middle, picked off. DC gets the interception. It really doesn't matter if they're down 2 corners as Peanut Say puts on his big boy pants and comes up with the interception.
Yeah, Peanut Say just said, John DeSantis, Ty Woodson, they could go out of the game, but I'm going to step up in their place. I'm going to jump in front of this pass that was intended for Jason Bartley. I'm going to snag this one and give this ball back to my offense.
And it's been those type of plays that have benefited the Dragons, both on offense and now on defense, all game long. And Mexico City is left reeling with a 19-point deficit. 9 minutes to go here in the third. Quick fire pass to Kevin Say coming out of the backfield, and he's gang tackled along that near sideline after a gain of 5.
Yeah, a nice catch out there out in the flats by Say, get a good 5-yard gain. But if TC scores here on this drive, on their first drive coming out of the half, this might be a too big of a deficit, though, for Mexico City to come out on. So you got to think Mexico City's got to be thinking they need to come up with a big stop right here.
4 wide for Synergy as he's in the empty set. Synergy takes the snap, going to fire it to Kevin Say, but a good hit out there by 22. That was Gerard Brody with the big hit that jarred the football loose.
Yeah, again, we saw a play like that earlier in the first half. This time, though, Gerard Brody doing what he's taught to do, able to stick that receiver right there as hard as he could. This time, the ball was able to pop out, to cause an incompletion to set up a 3rd down.
4 wide, Synergy under center. Say the offset back. Synergy, short drop. One-on-one coverage. Good stiff arm, but able to be wrapped up is Kevin Say right around the DC 47-yard line. Mexico City with good coverage brings up a 4th down.
And a great sequence by this Mexico City defense, able to get the stops that they need to set up this 4th down play to get the ball back on this punt. Good job to get the stop by this defense that when they really needed it the most.
Don Wilson with another punt, high snap, but he gets it away. Good hanging punt, and that's fielded right around the 25. They'll mark him down at the 26-yard line, and Mexico City will take over.
Yeah, Mexico City able to take over on offense here. Matt Wilson, you got to think he just put that last interception out of his head. Need to try to move the ball down the field and find his wide receivers as much as possible here.
Wilson under center. Jones, the lone setback. Wilson, short drop, fires it far sideline, catch is made, and that's going to be a gain of 8 yards to Nick Lockett as he was gang tackled along that far sideline.
And we've seen it up to this point. These out routes have served Matt Wilson well, able to find his receivers open on either side of the formation on these out routes. Good 8-yard catch by Lockett here on 1st down to set up a nice 2nd and short.
And as good as Aaron Gooden is at the linebacker there, when you see a linebacker on a wide receiver, that's a clear mismatch there. So good on Wilson to find that mismatch there and find the out route towards the top of the field. As he's going to throw again. This time he wants a big shot. He's got one. That's Bill Henry, and he's going to be off to the races. Touchdown, Aztecs.
Not out of this game yet by a long shot. Matt Wilson able to find his big tight end, Henry, on the left-hand side. Bill Henry able to come away with that ball and able to whiff past that defender right there on his way to the house. Number 46 had no chance. Rockefeller just whiffed on that tackle. Henry to the house for 6.
A rare miss by Kanye Rockefeller. It looked like he was just sitting back in center field waiting for that ball to come. And Henry said, no, thank you. I'll take that instead.
Said, I've been taking pointers from the master himself, Mike Daggs, on how to run past defenders. I will take that the rest of the way. Thank you.
That behemoth of a man in number 83 in white and green today. 6'7", 265. Henry, no slouch either at 6'4", 257 in his 2nd year here with Mexico City. As Varner is able to nail the extra point, so that makes it a 12-point ball game once again. And we'll have to see how they respond. You touched on it before. Last week, DC playing Lone Star. It looked like maybe Lone Star was going to claw their way back into it, but then Kanye ripped off a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah, he can rip one off at any time. We'll see what happens here. But talking about those two tight end sizes, you definitely don't want to be in the way of either Bill Henry or Mike Daggs if you're on defense after they catch the ball, for sure.
In the middle of his own end zone, Kanye going to bring it out, trying to find some blockers, and he'll make it out to the DC 21-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Synergy going to sling it out to Kevin Say, and that's been one piece of the equation that Mexico City has honed in on nicely is that threat coming out of the backfield in Kevin Say.
Yeah, usually Kevin Say only gets a handful of yards when he catches a pass out there in the flats. This time only getting 3 yards on 1st down. Mexico City came away with a huge stop on defense last drive that DC had it. We'll see if they can do the same here.
There he goes again. Big old chunk play for Kevin Say as he got dragged down by the last guy that really could drag him down, and Ronnie Watson. And there he goes, close to a 200 on the day for the Dragon star running back.
Yep, right there. Oh, 42. Looks like that was Jeffrey. I'm sorry, that was Ronnie Watson, like you said. Able to drag him down. Had he not dragged him down, we'd still be calling his name again on his way to his 4th touchdown. But good for Watson to being able to drag him down.
Still a fresh set of downs as Say gets another carry, but this time gets bottled up right around the line of scrimmage. And, ooh, man, you hate to see it as DC loses another star defender. Riley Cuse, John DeSantis, Ty Woodson, all out of the ball game with injuries.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how he injured his wrist because, like I said, on that injury, it looked like he ended up being blocked in the back and pushed to the ground by one of the offensive linemen. So maybe he just fell the wrong way on his hand on the way down, but tough break by him.
Tough break indeed, but the DC offense continues to just hum along on all cylinders as Kevin Say gets another first down.
Able to find those sticks, getting the yards that he needs to make sure those sticks keep moving. That's what they need to do on offense to make sure that Mexico City has no chance to come back in this ball game.
Turnaround handoff. That's Say again, trying to throw down the spin move, but he gets wrapped up this time by Gerard Brody. He's had a pretty good game on defense for the Aztecs.
Yes, he has a good game. That's his 4th tackle, I believe. So good, and one pass deflection to go along with it. It's a good game by him on defense to make sure that he does what he can to stop this high-powered DC offense.
Synergy to throw, steps up in the pocket, throws it on the run.
There
and
he goes!
That's Jeff Banfield into the end zone. Touchdown, DC.
My heart hurts for the Mexico City defense right now. What do you got to do to stop this DC squad? What a pass by Synergy. It looked like he had to step up in the pocket to be able to run away from the defensive pressure that Mexico City was applying. Right there. Dan Tritz was right there, almost ready to sack him, but instead he steps up and running throw right there, finds his man over the middle, Jeff Banfield, for 6 more points midway through this 3rd quarter.
Just a beautiful, fluid play by Shabazz Synergy as he finds Jeff Banfield on a 49-yard passing touchdown to cap off that 6-play, 80-yard drive.
This DC squad is just making it look too easy over these last 2 weeks.
Pati able to knock it through, making it 35-16. And, man, I mean, what can you do? You're thinking you're stopping Kevin Say on the ground. Okay, we got a beat on him. And then Synergy does that. And he's a bit of a gunslinger as well. You never know what to expect from him. But he threw 3 touchdowns last week as well.
He did throw 3 touchdowns last week, but the stat that sticks out the most between last week and this, he threw 2 interceptions last week, which still didn't slow them down on offense to go along with those 3 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown a single pick today, so that's what's making him even stronger.
Nick Lockett with an impressive return out across the 30 to the 32-yard line, and I got to agree with you there. It's taking care of the football as DC hasn't turned the football over at all. Mexico City with the 1 interception, but DC has just capitalized on every big play that they've had all game long.
Just capitalization on every single drive that they've had the ball almost. Just able to move the ball down the field at will, getting big plays when they need it the most, whether it be through the ground or through on the ground or through the air. Just amazing play by this offense.
Crossing route catch is made there, and Wilson connected with Jacob McCall as we get a look at the quarterback comparison today. And Wilson with more yardage, but Shabazz a little bit better as far as maybe the QBR goes.
Yeah, QBR is better. Wilson has 1 touchdown, but 1 pick also. Yep. 100.4 on QBR. 133.6, though, for Synergy.
And another catch made over the middle by the Aztecs. That's Jason Bartley getting close to first down yardage to the Mexico City 40-yard line. Still plenty of time on this clock. We haven't hit the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd. And Mexico City, they have seen this type of situation before, and they have come back from worse.
They have come back from worse, and DC's defense has been prone to give up big plays late in ball games. So we'll have to keep an eye on that through this last quarter and plus 4 minutes.
That'll move the chains. McCall with another catch as he is ushered out of bounds along the near sideline. and Mexico City moves the sticks out to the 45.
Moves the sticks just like they need to do. Not quite to midfield yet, but they are moving the sticks. A good catch over there by the sidelines, getting the first down. Matt Wilson's just doing what he needs to do to keep this team in this ballgame.
Hand off to Jones, and DC bottles him up after a gain of maybe a couple. And they've done a good job against Phoenix Jones here today, just holding him to a modest 53 yards on 14 carries. That is 15th carry there.
Yeah, and when you hold Phoenix Jones to under 100 all-purpose yards through 3 quarters, you're doing doing what you need to do on defense to make sure he doesn't hurt you. And there it is.
Tip drill interception there as DC comes away with another turnover. This time Kanye Rockefeller gets that pick that he was looking for.
Kanye Rockefeller took exception to getting burnt by Bill Henry on that long touchdown earlier. This time he said, I'm going to get the tip right here, take that ball away on defense, and I'm going to, hurt you where it hurts the most and get this ball back for my offense.
Declan O'Rourke almost made a very impressive interception, literally falling to his backside trying to make that pick. But it works out well for the Dragons anyway as he tips it up right to his boy Kanye. And that sets up a fresh set of downs for the DC Dragons on offense. 3:07 to go. Synergy throws it into coverage and incompletes. That was a bit of a dangerous throw as there was about 5 white jerseys in that area.
Yeah, and it looked like that ball hit Ben Charbs right in the back. If Ben Charbs would have been turned around instead of focused on the defender, he might have had an interception and the 6 points going the other way. But luckily for Synergy, Ben Charbs had his back turned, so it just bounced off him and incomplete.
Synergy under center. Say the lone setback offset. Instead, he'll throw it over the middle. Wide open receiver for first down yardage. Out to the 43-yard line. Big hit. But Churchill able to hold on to the football for first down.
Yeah, Churchill got nailed right there after catching that ball. But a good job being able to, hold on to that ball and not cough it up and give it to the defense, able to come away with first down yardage.
2 backs in the backfield now for Synergy. Handoff to Say. Finds a hole up the middle and gets bottled up near the Mexico City 35, mark him down at the 37, as he does officially hit the 200 mark here today with 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Over 200 yards last week, over 200 yards this week. He is just a beast of a running back to try to handle for any defense right now in this league. And Mexico City is just having another one of those days where they can't stop him either.
High formation, Say with another carry and another first down out to the Mexico City 31-yard line. He's had those big runs here today for sure, obviously, but he's been toting the rock very, very well, just getting what he needs to for first down yardage.
Yeah, and I feel like there's been multiple occasions in this ball game for sure where we've been saying, Kevin Say getting the first down, getting to the sticks, getting the yards he needs for a first down, able to find those sticks to move the chains for another first down. It's a constant theme in this ball game, and he's a big reason why this team is moving the ball down the field.
Synergy to throw. Far sideline catch is made, as that was good close coverage by the defender along that far sideline. That was Derek Meerkat, but the catch was still made by Gill, and a good 6 yards on first down.
And another reason of this team moving the ball down the field is Synergy. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do through the air as well of being able to move the ball down the field.
And off to Say, and he gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage as he tried to throw down the spin move, but Dexter Jackson was ready for him there right around the line of scrimmage, marking down at the 25.
Yeah, I would say about 90% of the time through this ball game, Mexico City's been able to stay at home on those spin moves and juke moves that Kevin Say throws down. But when you let 3 or 4 of those go for big plays, that can really hurt a defense.
Third and short, hit as he's thrown, and it falls incomplete. Good pressure from the Mexico City front 4 as Tritz was able to knock him down and force the incompletion.
A big stop by this Mexico City defense, causing a 4th down to come up and holding DC now to only a field goal attempt here coming up.
And that's been a key piece as well. Not a whole lot of pressure to speak of on Shabazz Synergy here today. And we'll see Potty line up for a field goal here from about 42 yards. Kick is on the way, and it is through officially from 41. And DC extends the lead on Mexico City, 38-16 now.
And you touched on it there. Both quarterbacks really have stayed clean in the pocket today. Neither defense has come away with a sack in this ball game. So both quarterbacks able to stand in a clean pocket. Synergy is able to do a little bit more with it, as Wilson's has thrown 2 interceptions so far.
The Aztecs still with time to respond. 47 seconds to go here in the third, and a whole other quarter of play. And a good return out to the 26-yard line will set them up nicely with decent field position. It's hard to say. These games are always tough, Nate. There's not really a whole lot that you're looking at on offense that Mexico City is doing wrong, other than obviously the 2 picks.
Yeah, Mexico City has, had everybody involved on their offense as far as, distributing the ball around. But if you take away those 2 interceptions, this could be a very different ball game right now.
And that was almost a third right there, as Wilson clearly rattled, trying to find his man Jacob McCall in coverage, but that falls incomplete. And the 2 interceptions he's thrown today have been into coverage just like that.
Yeah, and this time it was Kappa Jones on the defending end of that pass, able to get a hand in there and knock that one away. But living dangerously through this ball game is Matt Wilson.
He almost has to at this point, being down by 3 scores.
You can't really blame him when you're trying to get your squad back in this ball game down big.
A bit of a shovel pass there as Phoenix Jones lays the lumber. And that was a good run. Brings them out to the Mexico City 30-yard line. 3rd and 6 coming up. And Darnell Snow was the unfortunate party that met Phoenix Jones there.
Yeah, Darnell Snow, you got to imagine he might be in now for one of the injured defenders. We've seen it. We've seen 3 defenders of DC go down today, and now the backups are trying to make plays on this Mexico City offense.
The 3rd down for Mexico City as Wilson fires it and incomplete. And just like that, Darnell Snow is able to respond from the poor play that he had just a play ago. Almost comes up with a pick.
Yeah, Darnell Snow receiving end of a stiff arm last time, but this time almost gets a pick 6. Talk about night and day plays through a 2-play sequence. That's a big job by him to get a good play to set up a 4th down.
So we'll see another George Amy punt. DC will probably end up with decent field position here. Good high punt. Rockefeller fields it, trying to bounce it near sideline and gets tackled right around the 37-yard line. As the 3rd quarter comes to a close, it has been all DC here in the nation's capital, 38-16, as the Dragons look to move to 4-0. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on Twitch. Everyone get your 4s up and your 86s up in the chat. We got 1 more quarter to go here, and it's been a knockdown, drag-out fight from both of these teams, as we thought we were going to get. But DC has capitalized on all the big plays that have come their way here today.
Able to just get big play after big play.
Synergy with a pass over the middle, and that's caught for 5 yards out to the 42-yard line. Eric Vincent alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden in the stats truck for us this afternoon. And DC coming in at 3-0, Mexico City coming in at 2-1. And it's been a lot of the same recipe of success for DC, as they've relied heavily on Kevin Say and have picked up on pretty much all of those quick plays, those big plays that they've seen throughout the course of the game, as Synergy is able to throw it to a wide open Kevin Say coming out of the backfield, and he's going to get 3 out to the 45.
And it has been the Kevin Say show today for the most part. I mean, Synergy has thrown a couple of touchdown passes himself, but it's going to be up to the opponent's defense for the remainder of the season on whoever's facing DC that particular week on how they're going to try to stop Kevin Say and his spin moves and juke moves going forward.
This is going to be a big-time play here, and DC is able to get the completion and move the sticks out to the 49-yard line. Banfield has had 6 catches and 122 yards on the day today.
Yeah, Synergy is just having a day so far. Maybe a little surprised they're still passing it here in the fourth quarter, but maybe trying to still make sure they stay on schedule here through the run and the pass. But Synergy is having himself a nice day today with over 210 yards through the air so far and 2 touchdowns.
Hand off to Say, bouncing in near sideline, and he'll get 3 on the play. Meanwhile, on Next Level Sports, we got ourselves a ball game over there. Fort Worth was up 19-3 with 5 minutes left. Queen City with only 4 first downs, and they have scored 16 unanswered points in 3 minutes of game time. And it's a tie game, a 19-all over on Next Level Sports. For those of you paying attention to the score bug up there at the top right-hand corner.
Looks like Fort Worth has the ball late, trying to drive to end the game in regulation, but I wouldn't be surprised if that game goes into overtime.
Would not be surprising, as Kevin Say able to get the carry out to the Mexico City 43-yard line, as the Dragons are just looking to bleed this clock and get out of here with another big win.
Another big win indeed, and if they can hold on to this lead as we go through the late stages of the fourth quarter, it'd be 4 weeks through to the season as undefeated. So big win by them, big start to them.
Synergy is able to complete it out over the middle to Kyle Storm, but he is just shy of the line to gain as Mexico City stops him just short at the 41-yard line.
Good stand by this Mexico City defense, but they may go for it here.
Might as well put the nail in the coffin as Kevin Say gets the carry, and he gets first down yardage out across to the Mexico City 38. Clock continues to run, and Mexico City is just flabbergasted at this point.
Flabbergasted, left scratching their heads, trying to figure out what they need to do on defense to stop their opponent's offense. Pretty much Kevin Say right there with the exclamation point of this game right there on that one play. Just hand the ball to me, try to stop me, and if you can't, then so be it.
Say with another carry, this time for 3, as the clock continues to roll. In DC, a couple of really close games to start the season off. Home at Houston, 5-point win, and then on the road against Fort Worth, they were able to come out with a 3-point win there in the final minutes there, stopping them. But against Lone Star in Denton, they came out and put a 50-burger up on them. And then here today, a 22-point advantage against a very tough Mexico City team as they just continue to drive down the field. Another fresh set of downs there on the catch along the far sideline by Gill.
Yeah, and you said it, just a strong start by this defense, by this DC squad, just with the point differentials in the first 4 weeks, just keeps getting larger and larger throughout each week. Just makes, if you're a team facing this DC squad down the road in 2 or 3 weeks and seeing this kind of progress being made by this DC squad on offense, you're just trying to, go back to your defensive coordinator and is doing more scouting, try to figure out how to slow this team down.
And Say gets another carry there, 225 yards, 3 touchdowns for Kevin Say. And you touched on it, 200 yards in back-to-back weeks on the ground. And he's just been very, very impressive in the past couple weeks.
Very impressive indeed, just showing you how well he's been progressing throughout this year. Not just throughout this year, but throughout his career here in the SFL and the major leagues. Just a good job by the coaching staff being able to progress him along and being able to make big plays when it counts and matters the most.
Yeah, his 3rd season here in the league, all with DC, was an all-star a couple seasons ago, and clearly one of the young stars here in this league, as he's putting up impressive numbers for the boys in teal.
Just to update on that other game, late with 17 seconds left to go in regulation, Amelia Rose kicks a field goal with 17 seconds left to take the lead.
So we'll have to see how that pans out over there in Queen City, as Fort Worth taking the lead late in chilly Buffalo Meanwhile, Churchill gets another catch, and DC continues to drive into the SFL red zone we go.
Yeah, into the red zone now. They went for it on 4th down earlier. I think this defense and this whole Mexico City squad is just a little deflated. But the DC squad has all the momentum right now going forward.
Stay with the carry and stop behind the line as Mexico City was ready for that one. Looks like that was big number 98 getting in there. Dimitri Darby, one of the extra defensive tackles there. He's a big dude, 6'3", 310.
Yeah, definitely a load there on that defensive line. Now trying to get their backups in there for a little bit of game time late in this ball game.
About 5 minutes to go. Synergy pressure in his face. Going to throw it over the middle and incomplete. That was good. That was a good overall defensive play by the Aztecs. Pressure in Synergy's face. Great coverage down the field. Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Looked like Dexter Jackson was there on the pass defense to help break that up as well. So great job by him to be right there to break that pass up.
Five wide for Synergy on a 3rd and long. Under 5 to go. Synergy fires it back over the end zone. Touchdown. DC. Banfield's got another one.
And now DC's offense is just rubbing it in now late stages of this 4th quarter. What a play. What a pass. Synergy to Banfield. 6 more points. You had 52 last week. You're up to 44 this week so far, pinning this extra point. What a game overall by this DC offense. And what a play to get up that 6 points off that left side.
Fauci lining up for another extra point. He's had 1 field goal here today and a bunch of extra points as they've been putting on the touchdowns in bunches here at home in the nation's capital. And that extra point is up and through, and boy, oh boy, would you look at that, Nate. Queen City taking the lead.
Heartbreak City for Fort Worth. Wow. I saw the play unfold. AJ Caswell with a 60-plus yard pass to Deezer Powell on the right side to take that lead with 1 second left on the regulation clock. Heartbreak City for Fort Worth.
Wow, absolutely unbelievable. And you know, I'm not pleased with that, being a Toro myself.
Absolutely.
45-16 now your score as DC in full control with under 5 to go. Aztecs trying to save face here as they're down by 29. Fun fact, their largest margin of defeat or an away game, a home or away game, has been 28.
28, and we are at 29 right now. So just shows you the dominance that DC has had on this Mexico City squad all game long. If Mexico City is unable to score any more points, it would be their largest defeat, home or away, in team history.
The Baltimore Vultures defeated them 31-3 all the way back in season 12. But Mike Daggs has something to say about that as he pushes himself ahead for first down yardage to the 35-yard line. He's had a very quiet game here today after catching 3 touchdowns last week.
Very quiet indeed, for sure. Mike Daggs, that is his first catch of this entire ball game. 4:45 left to go in this game. Mike Daggs finds the reception for the first time today.
A big-time reception as well as he's able to move the sticks out to the 35. 4 wide, trips towards the bottom of the formation for Wilson. Takes the snap, fires it quickly over the middle. He's got his man for first down yardage. They'll go no huddle because why not?
Why not indeed? You're under 5 minutes trying to get as many points as you can as quickly as possible.
Or on Darby with the catch there. Another quick fire pass. That's caught first down. That's Jacob McCall. And they're driving quickly here to the DC 40.
Oren Darby's first catch of the game a couple plays ago.
Wilson pump fakes again over the middle and incomplete. He's thrown a couple of those here today, and they've both come out as interceptions.
Yeah, this time Darnell Snow, the backup, making his second pass deflection of this ball game. This time trying to find a pass over the middle was Matt Wilson and Snow there to bat that one down for an incompletion.
So that freezes the clock with 4:17 to go. Wilson in the empty set, takes the snap, gonna fire it over the middle, wide open man for first down yardage, out across the 15, out across the 25 to the 23-yard line. Clock continues to roll. Wilson going no huddle, takes the snap. He's gonna fire it again over the middle, touchdown, Mexico City, as they narrow the gap. Jason Bartley with the catch.
Matt Wilson to Jason Bartley, 6 points over the middle. Whoop, right there, right in front of Kanye Rockefeller. And able to come away with that ball is Bartley and walk into the end zone for 6 points. This game's not over yet by a long shot, but you got to imagine they need a lot more points to get back in this ball game.
Cole Varner lining up for the extra point to make it a 22-point advantage. The extra point is up and through, 45 to 23, as we welcome those of you who are joining us from Next Level Sports that watched the Queen City Corsairs come out with a last-minute victory over the Fort Worth Toros, 26 to 22, in an absolute thriller. And over here in the nation's capital, DC has just gone absolutely bananas on offense, despite losing 3 stars on defense during the course of this game. And DC is going to take that onside kick from Mexico City at the 40-yard line. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Eric Vincent alongside Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden in the stats truck. Nate, we've talked about it ad nauseum to the folks here on Twitch, but go ahead and recap it a little bit for the folks joining us on Next Level Sports.
Well, what more can you say? You see it right there on the stat line. Over 200 yards on the ground by Kevin Say, 3 long touchdown runs by him, showing off his spin moves and juke moves again like he did last week against Lone Star. Just a great game by this young man overall. And there he goes again, baby.
Another big old run by Kevin Say as he's had over 200 yards, another 8-yard run, and even the runs that he doesn't break out for a large touchdown run, he's broken those out time and time again, 3, 4, 5, 8 yards that time.
Yeah, this time 8 yards right up the middle, able to follow his blockers. Thought he might have broken another big one. We've seen it all day long from this guy. But this time able to get tackled after an 8-yard gain. That sounds crazy to say it's a win for the defense, but it's been that kind of game for this Mexico City squad.
I formation for Synergy as he hands it off to Kevin Say, and Say is able to squeak through out across the line to gain to the 29-yard line of Mexico City, and DC is content with just bleeding this clock down.
Yeah, bleeding this clock out, making sure Mexico City doesn't get the ball back in this ball game. We've talked about that too ad nauseum through this ball game too, Eric. How even though he gets short runs like that, no matter where he runs, he's still finding those sticks and moving the ball for first down yardage.
Letting the play clock go inside of 5 seconds to go as Synergy hands it off to Say, and he gets maybe a yard or so on the play. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Might see one more play. No, we will not. 2 minutes to go here in the nation's capital as the hometown Dragons have a 22-point advantage over the Mexico City Aztecs. And this is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We are live on Next Level Sports and Twitch currently as DC looking to close this one out, move to 4-0 on the season. Mexico City trying to save face just a little bit, but Synergy has other ideas, but he's going to throw a pick. Churchill was the intended receiver on the play, but that was a great pick by Jermaine Minifield inside the 5.
Yeah, the first mistake we've seen Synergy make all game long, and it happens under 2 minutes left in the ball game, so it shows you what kind of game he's had up to this point. But you said it, Minifield was a great job of stepping out in front of that pass, being able to pick that ball off. The only thing is, now they're inside the 5-yard line on offense, so we may see a safety if they're not able to move this ball forward.
We'll see what comes of it here as Wilson's going to line up under center. 3 wideouts to work with. Jones, the lone setback. Wilson throws it over the middle. That's caught. Close to first down yardage. 9 yards gained to the 12-yard line.
Good play, good reception by Nick Lockett.
Wilson over the middle and caught again. Wow. There was a defender right there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be picked for sure. Luckily, it was caught, though, by that receiver.
Under 90 to go. Wilson, pressure in his face. Throws it. Hit in the air.
There it is.
Off. DC going to walk away with this one as Darnell Snow secures the 3rd Mexico City interception. And this time off a tip drill from Mike Daggs. I think that one was just a little bit too hot.
Yeah, a little bit too hot coming in from Matt Wilson to Daggs. Snow's made, if you're just joining us, Snow's made a couple of tip plays and backup work from, we've had 3 defenders for DC go down throughout this ball game. So Snow's been doing good work as a backup coming in as a safety with 2 pass deflections up to that point, this time getting away with a pick right there off of Wilson.
Backups in the ball game here. Quarterback is Bruce Leroy as he throws it in the air, and that's incomplete. Looking for a Hail Mary pass in relief. And coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, February 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Foes Louisiana and Atlanta clash in a fight for the always crowded at the top East Division. Then Mexico City will face Baltimore out for vengeance after the Vultures scored 10 points in the final 2 minutes of last season's semifinal en route to their 2nd title. Will the Aztecs be able to halt the Vultures' recent reign of dominance? Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area as we get a short run there as Mexico City burns their first timeout. 1:16 to go here in the ballgame.
Yeah, good job by Dexter Jackson there getting a tackle on Kevin Say. I believe, still in the game on offense, but only a 1-yard gain here to set up a 3rd and long.
Quarterback under center. Leroy takes the snap, gonna throw it over the middle, and that's caught. Churchill with the catch for first down yardage out to the Mexico City 27. They'll burn a timeout, but that definitely is going to do it here in the nation's capital.
Yeah, Synergy able to stand back in the pocket. He's had a clean pocket, for most of this game. Able to find Mike Churchill over the middle, pass the sticks for first down yardage. But even though Mexico City called timeout, they only have 1 left, and with a little over a minute to go, DC is going to be able to run this clock out and come away with a big win over Mexico City.
Victory formation here for the Dragons. As they take a knee, Mexico going to burn their last time out. But that is going to do it here from DC as it was a 45-23 victory for the hometown Dragons. They scored 52 last week against Lone Star, 45 this week against Mexico City. Those are 2 really tough opponents, and DC has been flexing their muscles early on in Season 18 of the Simulation Football League.
And that's not to take anything away from Mexico City whatsoever. We know how tough the South Division is going to be this year between all 4 of those squads, Houston and Fort Worth included. But just not their day against this DC squad. DC came out with a great game plan. Kevin Say able to come away with 3 huge runs for touchdowns on offense. Synergy able to come away with a couple of passing touchdowns of his own, up to 3 now on the day. Just Mexico City's defense didn't have an answer for him this game, and it shows on the scoreboard.
One more kneel down here for the Dragons. And that is going to do it. DC moving into a well-deserved bye week off a 4-0 start. And as we mentioned to you earlier, Mexico City having to go on the road to Baltimore to take on the Vultures next week. So it certainly doesn't get any easier for them as they fall to 2-2 here on the young Season 18.
And with Lone Star with a bye week this week, they'll stay 2-1, so they'll have a half-game lead over Mexico City in those South standings. But great game by this DC squad all around, offensively and defensively.
Very impressive ball game from both squads. as DC comes out with an impressive victory, as we mentioned, over 500 yards on offense, as they had almost 300 through the air, over 200 on the ground. They just could not do anything wrong here today.
Couldn't do anything wrong whatsoever. You see the replay there of Matt Wilson's one of his 3 picks he's thrown all the day today. Matt Wilson just unable to take care of the ball when he needed to the most. He did have a big touchdown pass right there over to Bill Henry late in the third quarter, but just not enough offensive power to overpower this very balanced and very powerful DC squad. Just a great, outstanding game by Kevin Say and Synergy. The top receiver for DC looks like it was
Jeff Banfield, 137 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a big day today, did Jeff Banfield. So great game by him. Great day all around for DC. And I said it earlier in this ball game, but anybody who faces DC in the future is going to have their hands full trying to stop this high-powered and highly effective and balanced offense going forward.
Yeah, I can't argue with that one bit. And as I mentioned, a well-deserved bye week, a well-deserved off week for the DC Dragons, moving to 4-0, especially off of the last 2 weeks' performances. Like we said, against very good teams. The Lone Star Glory and the Mexico City Aztecs are 2 of the better teams in the league, and they hung up almost 100 points on both of them. Come on.
Yeah, and the fact that this DC squad has an extra week to prepare for their opponents after starting off so strong the first 4 weeks of the season, that should give even more concern for their next opponent after that bye week, because they're going to have an extra week to prepare for an already high-powered, high-offense, high-octane offense.
That next opponent, by the way, is going to be the London Knights, as they come right back here to the nation's capital at DC Dragon Stadium here. Get a look at the player of the game for this one, and it's going to be Kevin Say. 30 attempts, 236 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, and another 44 coming out of the backfield as a receiver. Well, on behalf of Nate Hall, Ike McBride, and Aaron Gooden, and our good commissioner, Cameron Irvine, over there at SFL HQ, being our executive producer today, my name is Eric Vincent. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the Simulation Football League, and we will stay tuned for the rest of this week's action. Goodbye, and have a wonderful weekend.